Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can please like, subscribe and share about my channel, that would be super. And now we're going to make a start on the 2018 Grade 2 practice papers. These are past exam papers from 2018 and this is the first year of the newly revised exam syllabus and exam paper layout. So it'd be good to have a look at that. So if you turn with me to page 3 and we can make a start on paper A. Now I always say, and I know that I will be repeating myself, but do have a go of this on your own. First of all, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes, you'll learn more thoroughly through those mistakes. Always write in pencil and then you can just rub out and have another go and you'll learn it more thoroughly than just by passively copying it through with me. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this and now we're going to look through these questions together. So question 1 asks us to add missing bar lines to these two melodies. There are two separate melodies with separate different time signatures, so don't just presume it's a continuation. And helpfully they've given us the first bar line in each case, so that will get you started. So here we're counting in 4 crotchets or 4 quarter notes per bar. So we need to add up everything that makes the equivalent of 4 crotchets, 4 quarter notes per bar. In this first bar we can work out how that's done. Don't let a triplet throw you. Remember, 3 in the time of 2 means 3 quavers in the time of 2 quavers, which is 1 crotchet, or you could say 3 eighth notes in the time of 2 eighth notes, which equals 1 quarter note. So we can see we have 1 beat here, 1 beat here, 1 beat here, and then 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes equal a crotchet or a quarter note. So we have 1 beat here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line. And if we continue in that, we'll be just right. So we know that 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes gives us a crotchet, so there's 1 beat. And then we have 4 semiquavers or 4 16th notes, and they are a quarter of a beat each. If you think there's our crotchet beat, our quarter note beat, we divide it into halves for these quavers, these eighth notes, and then we divide it into quarters for these semiquavers or 16th notes. And we also know that it makes a crotchet beat because it's beamed all together to show us 1 beat there. So there's another beat, and then we have a beat here and a beat here, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's our bar line. So a bit of thinking now with this dot. We know that we've got 1 beat here, so there's 1 beat, and then we know that a dot makes the note last for half as long again, so half of 1 is half a beat. So far we've got 1.5 beats here. Now here we know that 4 semiquavers make a crotchet, 4 16th notes make a quarter note. We have 2 semiquavers here, which give us the same amount of time as a quaver or an eighth note, which is half a beat. So 1.5 plus a half, altogether this will give us 2 beats here. So that's half of the bar. And then we have a run of quavers, a run of eighth notes. We know that 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes give us 1 beat, half a beat each. So there's 1 beat, there's 1 beat. So we have 1.5 plus half is 2, 3, 4. There's our bar line. If you get a little bit lost though, what you can do is you can sort of work your way from the back. Here we have a double bar line, so we know that this is a complete bar, so you could work your way backwards just to double check that if you get stuck. So we have 2 beats here, 3 in the time of 2 gives us 1 beat there, and then we have another beat here, 2, 3, 4, and so we know we're correct there. So that's that question completed. Let's move on to the next question. And now our bottom number has changed, so we're counting 3 beats in a bar, but now each beat is an eighth note or a quaver. So we need to add up to 3 quaver beats or 3 8 notes per bar. They've given us the first bar, remember, to help us. So we know that 1 crotchet, 1 quarter note divides into 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes. So there's 1 quaver beat, 2 quaver beats, and then we also know that 2 semiquavers, 2 16th notes gives us a quaver there. So 1, 2, 3 quaver beats there. There's our bar line. Again, don't let a dot through, it just means half as long again. So we have 1 quaver, 1 eighth note there. And then the dot after that makes it half as long again. So we have 1.5 quaver beats, or 1.5 eighth notes. And then here, a semiquaver is another half of an eighth note, because we're now counting this as our unit value. If you get that a little bit stuck there, let me just diagram that out for you to explain that. We know that a crotchet, when we were counting in crotchet beats, divides into 2 quavers, which divides again. Oh, shall I not squish that up quite so much? Let's do that again. Which divides again into semiquavers or 16th notes. So the principle's the same here. We're counting in quaver beats, so we're just starting that little diagram at a different point. So 1 quaver divides into 2 semiquavers, and so we know that 1 semiquaver, 1 16th note is half of a quaver beat, half of an eighth note. So we know that this combined gives us 2 quaver beats, 2 eighth notes. There's another one, so there's our third. It's a very short bar. There we go. So we've done the thinking here. We know that 2 semis equals 1 quaver, 2 16th notes makes an eighth note. There's another one, and then 2 16th notes makes an eighth note. 2 semiquavers make a quaver. 1, 2, 3. There's your bar line. And we know that a crotchet or a quarter note divides into 2 quavers, so 1, 2, and then we know that 2 semiquavers makes a quaver, 2 16th notes makes an eighth note, so there's another beat, 1, 2, 3 quaver beats, 3 eighth notes, and then here we know that 2 semis makes 1 quaver, and then we know that 1 crotchet divides into 2 quavers, and there's our 1, 2, 3. So there we go, that's that one sorted. Let's move on to the next question. So now we're still looking at time signatures and note values, but this time we are asked to add correct rest or rests. That's the important point to take note of, at the places marked with a little star to make each of these bars complete. So in this first one here, we're counting 3 crotchet beats, 3 quarter notes per bar. So let's see what we've got so far. We have 1 beat here, we have 1 beat here, and then we have 3 quarters of a beat here. We know that 1 crochet beat, there's your whole beat, divides into 2 halves, or it divides into 4 quarters, and we've only got 3 quarters. So we know we're a quarter of a beat missing, so we want a semiquaver or a 16th note rest. And that's that beat completed. There we go. Now then here, let's see what we've got here. We've got 1 beat here, we've got a half a beat here, and we've got a half a beat here. So far we've got 1, 2 beats. So we are 1 beat short. However, it's not simply enough to put a crotchet rest here, because we need to show, if you remember, each new beat needs a new rest. So we need to complete beat 2 and show the start of beat 3. And so we have to divide that 1 beat rest between these. So we have a half a beat and a half a beat. There's beat 2, a half a beat and a half a beat. There's beat 3. just to write a crochet beat rest would not be the correct answer, because we need to show there's beat 1, there's beat 2, there's beat 3. That's why they put this here. We need to show a different scenario here, because each new beat requires a new rest. Let's look at this one. So now we have 2 beats here. There should be 3, and so we're 1 beat missing, and we can just show a whole beat there. There we go, that's that one. Let's move on. So now we're counting to 4 crochet beats per bar, 4 quarter notes. So this bar's complete. We've got 4 there. Here's the little star. We've got 1 beat here. We've got 3 beats missing. Now it's not enough to just fill this with 3 beats. We can't use a 2 beat rest and then add a dot, because remember, each new beat requires a new rest. However, there is one thing that we can do to fill half the bar. We can't go over the middle of the bar, sort of there's an imaginary sort of no-go zone over the middle of a bar of 4/4, but we can have a 2 beat rest showing the first half of the bar, and then we can have a 1 beat rest to show beat 3, beat 4. So we can show easily each half of the bar. We have this imaginary no-go zone in the middle of a bar of 4/4. But it's okay to put a minim beat there as a rest. We don't have to do lots of separate crochet note rests. There we go, next one. So this last bar, nice and easy. We have a full bar's rest, so regardless of the time signature, we have a whole note or a semi-breve rest. It just so happens that it's 4 beats and this is 4 beats as well, but that's just a full bar's rest. Now these two are easily confused, and so the way I remember this is here we have the 4 beat rest hanging off the 4th line. That's a 2 beat rest just sitting on the line for a couple of beats. There we go, so that's that question completed. I do hope that's helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. I do hope that you're enjoying this and it's of benefit to your studies. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and have a browse around all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.